Alright, cool. In today's video, we're going to go ahead and cover two trades that I actually called on Euro last week. Right, there was shorts into this daily BISI. I was both a seller on Monday and Wednesday, right? Obviously, before we go ahead and do that, we're going to go ahead and see in Discord where I've mentioned them prior. So I've literally walked through step by step. I've given the initial ideas at the start of the day. And then I've written, I'm going to look to position myself inside of the wick of the H4 candle. And you can see this was my entry and this is my screenshot of essentially me entering on that next, was that H4 candle. So this was Monday, the 24th. If we skip over the 25th where I didn't take anything, then we can go to the 26th here and yeah, exact same thing, right? I've mentioned how if the hourly candle closes anything like this, I'm expecting the next hourly candle to push lower. And this is where I looked to get in on my position. And again, you can see the screenshot there with numerous scale-ins. I'll talk about that as well. And I've actually been sort of beta testing a group, right? So a couple of us are sending signals into this group called the Vault Signals. Both these trades were actually called inside of this group, right? You can see 24th of March, 26th of March. These are all the trades that we called out this month, right? 6 trades overall, 3 wins, 3 losses, 5.2R. Okay, depending on obviously whatever percentage you decide to risk per position, that can be whatever. But yeah, this is basically just like a signal room essentially. That is actually free. I will leave a link in the description either for the link to this group or a type form where you can fill out some information to actually go ahead and get access to this group. But pretty much we're just sort of testing out, seeing if we can actually manage this, send the trades in. You can see here as well, this was the week, last week, again, one trade sent in here to take profit, and then the second trade I manually closed 2.5 or 2.2 these are the Euro trades that I've mentioned. Again, so let me actually just show you here. So you would have seen, look, I literally called the trade out, sell limit, put your SL here, entry here, SL here, and you can see I didn't call the scale in, but I mentioned to exit. And we can go to the first one, EURUSD, sell market execution, which again results in a 2.2R. Yeah, so overall we did quite well in my opinion. I mean, 5R is respectable. This isn't an unrealistic service. You're not going to see us doing like 30R, something stupid like that. These are real results, and we've called every single one of these inside the group, so you can go ahead and vet that and see what you guys think, right? So anyways, on to the actual trades themselves, right? What you've actually come here for. So daily BISI, yeah, was the draw. Okay, essentially we'd shifted on the daily, right, with a closure beneath this swing low and also sort of a CSD. Okay, I wanted to be a seller. Okay, to be fair, let's go to the weekly as well. So the weekly went ahead, swept out the high and closed bearish. Okay, so I wanted to see the next, weekly candle basically print towards the daily BISI essentially. I wasn't 100% fixed that it had to be a bearish closure. I just wanted to see us gravitate towards this level. This was my draw, yeah? The other idea you can go off is the fact that this is in discount, right? I don't really use premium discount too much, but it adds to the idea as well, the context there. So Monday. So let's play along some of, this was last week, so I'll actually have to refresh myself on exactly what happened here. Let's play along. There we go. Okay, cool. I remember now. So we've went ahead. Okay, if you actually we'll go on the daily and skip back to the daily. As you can see, notice how we've gone ahead, tapped the daily order block here. Okay, so that's really important. The fact that we've gone ahead, we've tapped the daily order block. Right now, the daily candle looks something like this after tapping this daily order block. So I'm like, cool. I'm looking to be a seller. Okay, inside of the wick of the daily candle, I'm looking to be bearish on the day. And now I want to see signs. I I want to have confidence in the idea that this could be high of the day essentially. So one way we can do that is with SMT between GU, okay, which I don't really prefer to use. If we go on the hourly, it's probably a bit more obvious. Okay, you can notice, look, this high here, 12 o'clock to the present price. This high here, 12 o'clock, gets swept out, right? So this gets swept, and on Euro, we fail, okay? So after we do that, we get an hourly CSD here. So technically speaking, if I wanted to enter, I could have entered after this closure. I wanted to see the 4-hour close to see where we were going to close. And after we got this 4-hour closure, showing the fact that we've gone ahead, tapped the 4-hour SIBI as well, rejected, and I think DXY looked really clean, the fact that we'd swept here. So we have a small degree of SMT here as well. Again, with the equal highs as the drawn liquidity and all this low resistance liquidity. After we got that, I was super confident in the fact that we would drop here. And simply put, I set my entry at this hourly candle like this. TP was this low or around that low. And the SL, okay, if we look at this, so this cycle is an early MY reversal cycle. So as you guys know, I always incorporate daily cycles into all my trades. This cycle is basically when London creates the high of the day in the final hour, okay, or it can be, sorry, so this is not even in the final hour. It can be created outside of session, which essentially is what DXY does. So I was looking at this as an early MY reversal where the low is made outside of the hour or outside of the sessions themselves. These sessions will actually be off because I've changed them based on daylight savings. So I'm actually not going to use these because it's gonna throw people off. But essentially, this candle here is a mitigation block. Okay, and think really about what we've done here. So we've seen the high of the day potentially come in. I'm satisfied to say this is the wick, and then I've looked to get on side, and you can see this melts off the target. Very simple. Okay, and we get a 2.2R there. Cool. All right, delete that, move on. So I'll get Tuesday out the way. Let me see, is that fully printed? Let's have a look. Yep, fully printed. Okay, so Tuesday I didn't get behind a trade for various reasons. It still did drop from this 4-hour FEG, which was what my initial sort of speculation was. However, it doesn't really align with what I wanted to get inside of, and also the timing in which you would have held this to is sort of a time I do not participate inside of the market. So I would have literally been in front of the screen for hours just watching this drop. Again, not something I personally was interested in getting behind. So anyway, roll over to, what is this, Wednesday. So we have the daily BISI still intact. Okay, obviously it's the target. This is previous day's low. Right now, based on the information that we have this 4-hour, so this 1-hour FVG. We play along price. Let's see what happens. So we go ahead, we form equal lows. Okay, and you can notice there's some consolidation here. I actually built a position somewhere in and around this level here. I won't go into that because those are sort of like more intricate details, but essentially hourly FVG, equal lows created. This high was swept out. Okay, we tap the hourly FVG. Let's just see what we look like here. On the 15-minute, we'd sort of just made a high here. If I play the next hourly candle, you can see we form a swing point. I don't know what happened there. There we go. Formed a swing point. And this one I look to execute. Again, you've seen the signals sent on the volt signals as well. So FEG, SL at the top. I had my SL a bit shorter than the one, or I adjusted the SL that I sent to that group afterwards. TP again in around this level. I ended up TPing around here for it depends where you got it, to be fair. It was roughly around a 2.5R. And the reason I got out was because I noticed on Euro futures that the daily BISI was a lot closer. So if I just mark this out here, look, you can see if we go to the hourly here, play this along, or go to the 15-minute, right? You can see how this plays out. Okay, very nice. Right after this closure, I ended up scaling in again off this hourly order block. It's my second position. And you see the drop, right? So I've TP'd in and around this level. Again, you can go and check the screenshots. On the Euro futures, look, we've already tapped the daily BISI now, okay, which was the target all along. So once we tapped that, I was like, cool, I'm not going to wait around for this FX chart to go ahead and reach for the FEG. And if I just play along the hourly candles, you can actually go ahead and see how, yeah, I would have been broken even essentially on my positions. Even my scaling would have got taken out, and yeah, we would have essentially been on the wrong side of this pretty much. So yeah, those are the trades, right? As you can see, very simply, they have a lot of different components in unison. Just to put the sessions on again, these are slightly wrong because again I've adjusted them for the fact that daylight savings time has moved. This is an early MY reversal. High was made at 9:30, and then I'm looking for a short inside of New York. But again, notice what I've done here. So I've looked to be bearish on this day. I've tried my best to position myself inside of the wick of the daily candle. What have I been able to do here? I have shorted in the wick of the daily candle, satisfied that this potentially can be high of the day. Why is that? It's come into a premium array. We've seen a breakdown. We've swept significant liquidity, and we've had equal lows. Okay. So overall, you can see how I'm building the position, and then positioning is the most key thing here, really. I'm looking to position myself after I'm confident that a high has been made. Also, you could look at it that I've basically just seen a swing point form on the hourly, okay, after tapping a higher time frame level. And that has essentially given me the confidence to say, you know what, this is going to be high of the day, we've swept liquidity, and then I'm happy to short from that level. So key takeaways really, and you would have probably noticed this from a couple of the trades I've talked about this month, is one, position yourself inside of a day where you think it's going to be bullish or bearish, number one. Number two, then focus on establishing when or being confident in the idea that the high or the low has formed. So in this case, I'm using the daily cycle. In the other trade, we used SMT and a H1 CSD / market structure shift. In this example, we've used again a higher time frame array plus the idea of a swing point. And then also we've had my entry model on the 15-minute, that sort of displacement beneath a swing low on the 15-minute chart as well. Okay, so all these ideas, again, keeping it very simple. And then as well, notice how even on entry, I've pretty much stuck to 1 hour and 4 hour candle closures. I didn't really even need to go down on time frame. I could have done all of this on the 1 hour and the 4 hour. Okay, so just take note of that. Like, you don't need to be on the 5 minute, 1 minute. I haven't even touched the 1 minute once. I don't even think I've shown off a 5 minute chart here either. Yeah, so it really shows you what you can do with this sort of information. Okay, so overall, hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, if you want access to the Discord, then you can try the 7-day free trial, right, where it says steal my strategy. If you want access to the signal room, then I will put a link in the description for that as well. Okay, but anyways, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments, and yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. See you lot in the next one.